Man, I'd be like waiting for that door to latch. Hey, I'm like,
Hand over.
Don't call me unless the house is burning. Expressed milk in the fridge. Holla at me in 2 hours.
Yeah. Hi everyone, this is Sophie.
Hi, I'm Wanjiru.
And hi, I'm Melissa, and welcome to Ninja Parenting.
Yay! It's our first episode that we have been talking about like forever.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
actually what? 3-4 years?
That's when we said we're going to do this. Yeah.
That's when we started imagining this whole thing.
Hey.
Yeah, it's
No, I was trying to do some math. I was
Yeah.
like, am I that old?
it was
really?
it was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
here
then
we
life
are.
happened. But finally
We're
we're doing it.
I know, we took long. Our kids are almost in college.
Oh God, we were ninjaing. That's what we were doing.
Yeah.
It was kicking our butt.
I think we who met first? Okay, I've known you from life.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
from life. So only all that to mean that we are cousins, first cousins. So we knew each other, and then your connection was with Sophie.
You actually, because you introduced me around the time you were getting married.
Uh-huh.
And then I was doing your wedding invitations, I think, and you're
Yes.
welcome. I know they were gorgeous and lovely.
They were lovely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what is holding our marriage, is those invitations.
And then after that, our friendship bloomed. Although I'm still questioning how well you and I know each other. I feel like there's some things that have been revealed today that are making me worried because, we need to spend more time together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then after that, we came together. Oh, yeah. And then now kids happened after that. So, chair lady.
In quick succession, we call her Chair Lady because her kids, all her children were the first ones to be born in the whole line of our kids. So first came,
In what year?
Madam
2016. You know, I'm liking how you're saying all my children because you make it sound like I have many.
Yeah, but they're two.
class.
More than one is
They're
numerous,
They're like all.
madam.
People are expecting like she has 6. No, they're just two.
No.
Yeah. So the first was 2016 in Feb.
Yes.
Miss Pendo. Yes.
And then 2016 June.
Then 2016 August.
And then
Then came back 2018 January.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then 2019 March.
In 2018 December.
2018 December.
Yeah, so
you
that's
beat
when
me
we
on that one.
switched
Yes.
roles on the second, yes.
Yeah.
And-
And then you left us.
And then
You
I
left us.
abandoned.
She fell off. She was like,
we thought
"Peace,
we were
I'm out."
all in this together. and then
we
kidogo,
continued.
kidogo. Yeah. 2021 January.
And then 2021 March.
Yeah.
We're done. And we're done. Yeah.
But those
We hope.
were those 2021 planned? Because I remember the text messages were like, I think.
Ish. And we love them dearly now that
We
they're
love
here.
them.
Yeah.
But
We
I
do.
would say that one was a COVID baby.
I think they were all COVID babies. For sure, let's just say we got pandemic babies. So all the pandemic parents out there, we got you. And those ones, by the way, are built different. Oh, yeah. Pandemic babies, that's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
But so then how we got to meet up was, so we, of course, being cousins, have been in touch throughout our lives. And so when the babies came, in fact, I remember it was you who came. I didn't know I was in labor because I'd labored like 2 days before and then it stopped.
Yeah.
And then I was walking around happily nesting and I didn't know I was nesting. So she actually came with her like 2-week-old baby to the house with my sister just to observe me because they're like, this babe is crazy. She can just pop her baby in the house. And it got to a point where like, are you not feeling anything? No. And they were like, let's time them. Every 10 minutes. And I was contracting less than 10 minutes. I think what 7 or 6.
Being over here, hero.
I mean, I got to hospital at 4 centimeters already.
Wow.
So if it wasn't for her, already that's where the village began.
Yeah.
I don't even know what would have happened in that scenario. And I know when the baby came, but then you guys had already had yours and you guys had already met up. And so the first time now we reconnected because I knew Sophie through my cousin who's your friend. And so then, but we hadn't quite, you and I, connected, but you guys had connected because of the wedding. So I remember getting my baby and then you guys came to visit me. To be like, welcome on board, mama, newest mama in the house. And it was at my house at some point there was so much chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, all children were crying. We were all breastfeeding.
Changing diapers
On the floor.
I remember
It was
the
such
nanny
a hot
looking
mess.
at us like, what? Do you guys know what you're in for?
But then she just later on, she was just like, wow. Hey, nah, muko busy, like, but at that moment, it was when it was like, I think the conversations that day, first, I guess for me, because I was just the newest
Fresh.
entrant in this whole situation, there are so many questions I had, and like just having the conversations made it feel like, hey, and yeah, I'm not crazy. And then there's more to come also, you know? So, and I guess that's where and we formed a group.
That day, right?
That day,
we left
and
with
we're
our
like,
WhatsApp
what do
group.
we're like, what do we call ourselves? We're like ninja moms, because this is just, this parenting is too ninja. These ninjas are just too much, and that is how Ninja Moms was born. And we then had the group, and that's what we've been called. And then I think what happened as the conversations kept growing, and just seeing we have involved husbands, and we're like, actually. We are ninja parenting because our spouses are involved, and it's there's two sides to this. There's what the mother experiences, and then there's what the father experiences, and they're all our children. You know,
Yeah.
Who, the husbands are our children?
no, as in no,
Strike
not the
that.
husbands, not the husbands. No, their experience, like you know how you can read from the same script but take two different interpretations. Because I'm sure if our husbands came here and interpreted some of the stories we'll give, might sound different. No,
Perspective,
yeah. So
yeah.
But I think the main thing for me in being part of the group, even though I had quote unquote more experience, because by the time you had your baby, mine was 6 months.
yeah,
So
you were in the winning stage.
yeah, I was
But
really
looking at our
winning.
babies and judging
Yeah.
them.
And I was just thinking you guys are in the weeds proper.
Yeah.
And I was coming out of that. But still, even in that, because remember when I had my first, I am a much older mom compared to you guys. So most of my peers had their babies years. So I couldn't even relate to them. I was thinking about play groups when they were like, what? Mine is having KCPE. We are prepping for that. So I was just like, I had nobody within my immediate sphere who was in the same stage. So finding you guys was just like, it was so opportune. And I think even I hunted you down, Beth.
So, yeah.
I think I was just like, because I think I had seen an Instagram post where you did some sort of
Like a foot or
a foot or some
soft
baby
reveal.
thing. And I was like, you're having a baby? Awesome. Now, what do we do? How do I come? How do I participate? How do I get involved? Because I was like, finally, I have that company. And then when you said Melissa I was like, finished.
That's it.
It is done. I
Yeah.
am jumping in. And I knew you guys were related, but I was like, I don't care.
That's why we love you.
Yes, me, just open this door because I don't care how deep your relationship is.
Yeah.
I'm involving myself.
Yeah.
So it was really cool for me to find that support. And that WhatsApp group, I remember how it just kept us breathing,
Man,
sane.
from the day it was formed, it was on fire throughout. Throughout.
Yeah.
This pimple, is she going to die?
No,
was he fine? I don't know.
It was just that place of, because I couldn't ask my mom. My mom was one of those women who was like, I don't remember happening.
It's true.
That
I think
one.
all of them, they're just like, I don't think, or they mesh, like if they have more than two, everything just gets meshed into, I'm not sure, was it your brother? Was it your, you're like,
Yeah. So
And then things are so different now between the fact that even child raising philosophies have changed, technology has changed. So they just could not identify. And then they also had like a lot of communities around them. Like my mom had an aunt who was a doctor and so on. So she had all that support. She doesn't remember a lot of the things that are relevant for us now. So it was like, okay, yeah, she just kind of was like, have you asked your doctor? I was like, okay, you're not
And
helping
it's so
me.
interesting
I can't call her
because-
at 3 a.m. again.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And then I remember even for me, it was helpful because a lot of my friends don't have children. So I was like the single. So it was so nice to just have Beth, within the same space.
Yeah.
And then now have you on board. Because even for my sister, she has 2 kids, yes, but the gap is so big. I mean, literally when they say you forget, I think that hormone is for real. Like you really forget.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's to entice you to get others. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you forget. So even for her, some of those things, she's like, wow, okay, this I can remember this. What? Way out of my league.
Yeah.
I just call the doctor. Again, how many times can you call the doctor? So it helped even just remember us having those nights when I think by the time Pesh was probably sleeping through the night. And us guys would actually camp by the sofas because we
Just
all,
easier.
because we had C-sections. Yeah. We all had C-sections.
We all did, yeah.
And I remember both the first ones were after long labor for you and I, yeah?
Yeah.
Or after a long labor, terrible story for another day.
Yeah.
But the healing process and just the nursing and everything, and just the comfort of at 3 a.m.
There's
you post a
somebody-
message and it's not like going to be responded to at 10.
Yeah.
Like there's immediate
Somebody's
response.
also awake.
In fact, we even used to have like night calls for like, hey, are you guys on night? Yeah. What are we watching tonight? You know, it was a time for Netflix. We're like, hey, what are we watching tonight? Hey,
Yeah.
have you watched this episode? Then you're like, hey, I'm turning in at like about the same time, which would be like 6, because you want to try and sit because of the wound.
Yeah.
You try and sit up. And then you're just like, okay, his hubby is going to work. It's fine. You're like, there's no need of both of us struggling. Us guys can sit in the sofa, which is actually more, because they're
It's more
getting up.
comfortable,
It's
yeah.
actually more comfortable, because by the time you're waking up to keep picking, it really hurts the stitches at some point.
Yeah.
So you do need the baby at like, really, the long sofa helps because you're here and here. Proximity is everything. Plus, you should have seen the
OG over
alignment.
here.
You're just like the diaper changing station with everything you
Yeah.
need. Well thought through. Your station for replenishing, your pump, your what. So everything is here within arms. Minimal
Like a war
movement, you know?
Yeah.
And it helped because then by the time you're now going to sleep, I know I used to time my housey to wake up 6. Man, I'd be like waiting for that door to latch. Like, hey, I'm like,
Hand
Toto,
over.
don't call me unless the house is burning. Expressed milk in the fridge. Holla at me in 2 hours, you know?
Yeah.
At least.
At least, or until you see me walking out of the door,
Yeah.
you know. And at that point also, you can't quite sleep in, can you? Because
can't
you'll
really.
get
The sun is
engorged.
up,
Yeah, you'll get
visitors,
engorged. You
you
still have
what?
to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was helpful to just have that village, because if we realize now in this new age, our parents and the older people used to form a village around the woman who's given birth. Everything would be taken care of. The baby would be washed. We don't have that. So if we don't create our own communities, and then
It's true.
Yeah.
it's this.
Yeah, and I think also, to be fair, even we have capable, present, able husbands. They are completely oblivious.
No, yeah.
They're just like, yeah, I know nothing about this baby. I don't even know where to begin. The most mine could do was a diaper change, 1 or 2. So he was completely, I think, terrified about this whole
Creature.
because it's so small and it wriggles and it cries without tears. It's such
Sometimes
a funny
I-
time.
Yeah.
It just opens its mouth.
And then they're so tiny. They remember like they'd hold the baby and you're just like, this child versus my arms.
Yeah.
Like, I fear I might break them,
Yeah.
you know, in the process. But the interesting thing also is, in a way, ladies, in the African setting, we are raised to sort of interact with kids, whether you have them or not, in one way or another. Your cousins, your what? Us guys, always shuffling children, raising other people's children.
Yeah.
But then men don't get that.
Yeah, they don't.
Men don't get that.
Yeah.
So literally now, for the guy who's now learning to be an involved dad, who's now becoming a ninja dad, welcome men, they also are learning a lot more. Like, it's like they have
Yeah.
to play catch up, because even baby showers and stuff, there's a lot of prepping even for you as a mother. But the men showers don't discuss these things.
There are no men shower. What is a
No,
man
they.
shower?
But even when they do, they don't. You ask them. So, what did you guys discuss? I was
We
told
went out.
nothing
Yeah.
about the diaper changing. Nothing about. So literally,
Yeah.
you're having to teach him as you're also learning. So it's such a strange time.
There is some element of, like, throughout the pregnancy also, you are bonding with the baby in some way. Like, for the dad, you know, it was, you have a big belly, but they don't connect in the same way. So for you, for 9 months, you touch your stomach and they move, and so your brain also prepares for it differently. And I am sure you guys were on baby center like all the time. Like, the baby is now
What?
the size of a cabbage.
Was
The baby
the
is now the size of a
best.
sausage.
Oh.
Yeah, every
Still
week
is today,
now
by
has
the way.
lungs, and it's still
yeah,
relevant.
it's still
and it
very
works.
relevant. Yeah, even now at 4 years, when
Yeah.
they send
Messages.
it's so accurate. You're like, I've been trying to pin down this.
Oh yeah.
So baby center. Beth, tell us baby center.
Baby Center is this website / app that helps with, I don't know if we're doing advertising at this point. All right. So it's this website / app that kind of walks you through the pregnancy journey. And so if you download it on your phone, then you get prompts every week along your like the phases of your pregnancy. So it'll tell you, this week your baby is this size. This is how it's developing. It's now got ears. The baby now has the capacity to belch, you know, just stuff like that. So throughout your pregnancy, it also helps you to kind of understand what's going on where you can't see. And that's just really cool, because for some, it's so accurate. It's insane. When you, even now, after the baby is born, you still walk with baby center because it'll tell you at 1 week, your baby should be looking at you like this. At 3 months, your baby should be eating this and so on. Yeah, these are the emotional challenges that the child is having now that they are toddler and so on and so forth. So it's really, really great resource.
And I like that it's also two-pronged because there's also the mother aspect. For like this week, you should expect to feel this and it's spot on. You know, this week you might get hungrier, there's a growth spurt. You know, this week you might get whatever. So it's I like that it's two ways because then even you are able to understand what's happening in your body at that time during incubation and when the baby is out as well. Yeah, so it's a nice, you know, when should your stomach start to reduce? You know, or why do you feel that strange crumbling? I know, but why do you feel that strange tightness in the stomach as you breastfeed?
Yeah.
You know?
Those things that you're not told. Nobody tells you.
We know the interesting thing is, when you're a first-time pregnant woman, that place is where you park. You live on that side. After that, baby center angoa. My second child, I don't even think I ever looked up what is this.
Yeah.
I never called anyone.
Yeah.
I never asked questions outside because now I had experience.
Even you can write.
Yeah, I was like, even me, I'm my own baby center. I even tell other mothers, by this time you should expect to see X, Y, Z. You know. But I think in the beginning, because one of the challenges is you feel like you don't know anything, and then you have all this access to all this information. It can also be an overwhelm of some sort. Because also if you're not feeling those things or those targets and milestones are not happening for you, at the time that baby center says it should be happening, you're like, this is a doctor's visit. And the doctor is like, why did you come? There's nothing wrong with your baby. No, because she should be sleeping on the left side. But she only sleeps on her back. And you're like, how did you arrive at that?
Yeah.
You know? So I think there's a bit of it where it removes all of the mystery, which, you know, in hindsight, you'd have loved to have some mystery about this child and what is going to happen, some surprises. But then on the other flip side, it's really resourceful and so great. And I remember even Ted, my husband, had it pinged to his emails. He's like, oh, did you know by now?
Yeah, that helps.
It's like, look at you go.
Actually, that's another thing that helps because even for the men, when they do download it and put in the same, because it asks you for your details, when is your
due date
and stuff. So it also, even for the men, that would be a good tool to download and then begin to follow that journey. Because then it also helps you in the things that even our ladies are unable to communicate. You're able to tell what's happening in her body and in the baby and in the change. You're able to catch up. And even as you go for now the ultrasounds and stuff, it's interesting. Because even for him, I remember every time we'd go, it's like, you know, especially the 3D. He was like, I can see the nose. You know, I can see that. You know, it's so strange from like the little, because I remember from like the firstborn, I remember one time we had a scare with the firstborn and we thought, like I had to be on bed rest for some time because anyway, but I remember the first time because we had to walk around because we were in Lamu till over here at vacation before it gets difficult.
Oh, and baby moons.
Yeah.
Where?
Anyway, I had a little accident and then we had to now walk around Lamu. Also, be careful as you're going for trips when you're pregnant. Please try and avoid trips the first trimester. I think they usually because then you're at a very volatile stage. Let me see, I was over there at month 2. Anyway, we're running around Lamu, looking for a hospital to do an ultrasound. Lamu. With no hospitals, guys. There's one guy who might have gone to Mombasa that day. Anyway, and I remember finally getting one guy, I think 2 days later, and finally getting to do the ultrasound, and it was our first ultrasound. And second, but the first one was just a heartbeat, right? Yeah. The second one, I remember he was like, let's look for activity. Man, that toy was bouncing around. Literally, it was like a ping pong. Ping, 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 ping. It's like, this is the child we've been worried about. Yeah. But even for them, I guess, moral of this story is, there's also tools for men to be able to just get, you know, a deeper understanding on what's happening. Maybe you'll understand the mood swings or the cravings or the things that are going on.
For the saucers being thrown across the room.
Yeah. Or even the child when the baby comes. A lot of the times what tends to happen is, hey, you know, I remember having moments when he's like, the baby's crying, what do we do? I'm like, wait, we were handed this baby the same day, same time. I don't know,
Yeah.
Probably he met the baby first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he did.
it's for you, it's true.
Yeah.
But I guess I think there's this notion that women should know it all, and that like we have some sort of mwakenya in life that okay, see when you get a baby, you must know what's happening, So it's a good tool to try and catch yourself up on some of the things that might be happening. But it doesn't tell you everything. A lot of this also, it's just you learn the ninja route,
Like we did. Yeah.
And that's why it was helpful
And
to
there's
have
no
like
one
all of
size.
us like this community, because there's stuff that you'll go through, and then when it's happening to me, you're a reference now, so I'll be able to come back. Sophie, so now when she burps in this way, what does it mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do? Do I hold it upside down and shake it? Like, what's the solution here? And it was so helpful because when the baby first comes, your whole world shrinks to this creature and keeping this creature alive. At the same time, still trying to heal like from a CS, getting to know yourself, because now you're a whole new person as well. You're now
You're someone's
mama
mother.
so and so. Yeah.
That's the strangest.
It's freaky. Yeah, so you're trying to get to
Because
know
on the house
yourself,
he
but
comes,
your life
"Mama."
support for someone. Mama,
Your eyes
what?
are crossing.
Is that me? Is that my mother? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So having you guys to be able to even just connect to the outside world somehow. Like, it's not just about me in this little small bubble with this little creature here, but there's somebody out there also who's going through it. It made things so much easier. Yeah.
It was.
What do you enjoy about your friendship as moms now? And then tell us why the podcast.
Also, I can hear you bumping the table.
Bumping the table.
I have
The
no idea.
bumper.
Who?
I can connect that for you.
No, don't worry.
It's okay.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
The best part, I guess, is the continuing village of just because it still gets tougher as you go. You know that the way they say kuzaa si kazi kulea ndo kazi. You know that thing. So it's true because I mean, as they grow older, as they grow their personalities, the things that change, it's helpful when we come for like, hey, I've been seeing some sass in my 7-year-old. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
it's this is, or, there's this parenting class, or there's this and this, and there's that and that. And when do you start talking to them about sex? When do you touch, like, there's so many things, bullying in schools, making friends like, there's so many challenges. I think it helps to just, when we sit down and we're just able to unpack during those 2 sessions and just be like, guys, I'm going through the ghetto with this, and just being able to unpack and just, speak about it. I think for me, that's been the most valuable thing. Yeah.
I like the fact that we're all different personalities as well. So it means that the way I see the world, you're not going to see the world in the same way. So some things I'll come to you and then you'll tell me like your perspective or a solution. I'll be like, man, that makes so much sense. Have I been sleeping this entire time? And it's so helpful then because I also learned to interpret life a little bit differently. That's been fun for me. But also that you understand exactly. So our friendship has gone on long enough that you know my family, circumstances and everything. So even when we talk, I know that it's a safe space. But at the same time, you'll give me, I guess, a solution that makes sense for me in this context. Yeah.
I think the thing I like most is it started with babies. The babies brought us together. And then the babies formed their own relationships. And now they talk about each other and think about each other. And then we brought in our husbands. At least I brought mine because yours kind of knew each other. So I brought mine in. And then so it became family. Then we got sort of our extensions around us. Now we go for your sister's thing. Then you come for my brother's thing. And we've kind of just gotten into each other's lives really deeply. And yet it just started with a pacifier is good or not.
Yeah. I remember actually the times when we'd have our meetups as the moms with the babies with our 2 strollers all over the place. Oh God.
Taking over a
We
restaurant.
really tried. We really worked hard with our first children. We had time. But we'd really move around town trying to find the hottest spots to go and carry our 2 strollers and take our babies and meet up. And I remember our mothers each joining us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was and for them it was such a, oh, this is so fantastic.
Yeah.
You guys are just meeting with strollers to just hang out, And to them, it was such a, and even for them to then be now, see us, know us.
Yeah.
And just, they know Sophie, they know
They know you.
Beth. But just that bond of like, oh, oh, ninja moms are meeting, and they know who the ninja moms are. You
Yeah.
know, it's fantastic to
Yeah.
just have those bonds, like you said, transcend beyond just us. We're fortunate enough that our husbands like each other, and the kids also. So,
Yeah.
And now it's not just as about us as moms, but
Yeah.
us as women as well, who are moms.
Yeah.
But our friendship also, the conversations are not just now about like the kids and everything. Our friendships actually grew a whole other dimension.
it's true because I think the follow up to that is you find yourself in those situations where a lot changes so fast when the children come as a mother, wearing your different hats. You're probably an entrepreneur or an employee. You're still a mother. You're now a mother. You're also a wife, also a member of society, also, so there's all those many things that are expected of you. It's so easy to get to a point, and I think we have all reached this point where you lost yourself somewhere along that line of, and you can't tell yourself what you loved to do at some point. What are my favorite things? You don't
Is your
know
favorite
because
song that song from Cocomelon?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or Disney shows, or
Yeah.
it's so how your playlist changes. Like literally, they come and yes, they take over, but you try to be intentional for them not to. But it's hard for them not to as a mother. So where do you find yourself in these spaces? Who keeps you true? That true truth of we sit and being able to be like, yo, you've been talking about this project for a long time. Get on it.
Yeah.
What are you doing about your health? What are you, that accountability also has been such a true thing. And the true raw honesty. And it's not from like a bad place. It's like you said, a safe place. It's a safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that is one of the reasons why we want to have this podcast is to share what we've learned and what we are still learning on our journey as mothers, as friends, as women in the world trying to find our place, and hopefully connect with people who are perhaps lost like we were and looking for answers, and maybe they don't have the community that we have built for ourselves, and make this a place where they can find that community and come in and say, hey, when Melissa talked about this topic, I really connected with her. I understood immediately what she was saying because I was going through that, or I'm currently going through that. So this is that place where we recall where we came from and then see where we're going. Because I think one of the great things about this connection is we're always like, hey, next steps. Where do you want to go? And this, even doing this podcast is that next step. Right? Because it started as we should tell people about this, and now we are doing it, and then after this, Netflix.
I know.
I'm ready.
Series.
I have my makeup bag.
Yeah. So I guess the journey, as you get to know us, is we're trying to bring our true, authentic self here. We're not professionals. We're not trying to purport to be. This is just our story on how we are parenting little ninjas. Yeah. And hence ninja parenting.
KE.
Yes.